And it's time for our second edition of a brand new radio program called the Debt Relief Radio Show. And we are live on this 6th day of February, 2013, with the attorney we'll let her tell you about her company in just a moment. If you missed the program 2 weeks ago, we introduced Ziona, or is it Ziona or Ziona?
Yeah.
Ziona, let me give this a chance now. Kopelovich.
Very good.
I'm doing good, aren't I?
I see you took it upon yourself to practice
I
in
did.
the last
That's why
2
the
weeks.
paper was in my office. Did you notice I had to reach my office to get the paper?
Absolutely.
I had it sitting on my desk, and I was practicing Kopelovich, so I can sound like an old friend.
Well, practice makes perfect.
That's right. You betcha. Now, she's with the Debt Relief Law Offices of Tampa Bay, if you're wondering who she is, and she runs the place. So we're talking to the boss. And some of you who might be looking at ways to get out from under, especially if you're going to go the route, and this is her specialty, the route of bankruptcy, right,
Yeah,
Ziona?
that's correct.
It would be your law office that they should give a call to.
Absolutely. So that's what we do. That's our bread and butter.
That's the big thing. And I'm going to let her explain some more, but let me tell them the telephone numbers. She is here live so that if you're thinking about bankruptcy and you've got questions about what it'll do to your credit, what it'll do to the rest of your life. We talked about some of this last week or 2 weeks ago, but if you've got some specific questions you'd like the attorney to answer, attorney Ziona, to answer, just call us right now at 796-7272. or 277-5919. Bankruptcy isn't always the answer, but sometimes, if you listened 2 weeks ago, you find out it can be a really good answer. So know that. The numbers are 796-7272 or 277-5919. And we're going to talk mostly about chapters 13 and 7.
That is correct. These are the two main avenues for individuals to help themselves to get rid out of financial trouble. You know, as I said last time, if your financial life falls apart, you can't just stay in the mire, just stay there and wonder when your life is going to turn around. You have to do something proactive to rid yourself of the debt that's holding you back. We see a lot of foreclosures these days. And at times, my clients want to stay in their home. At times, they don't want to stay in the home. So we fashion the remedy accordingly. If they want to stay in the home, to pay back the arrears, then we can do that through a plan. If they don't want the home, that's fine. They can walk away from it without fearing that they have to pay the deficiency on the home.
They can walk away without worrying about the deficiency.
They can, and they do walk away without the bank coming back for a deficiency. Absolutely.
Didn't know that.
Well,
that's why you're here.
That's why I'm here to teach you about.
Yes, and that's why many of you listening might have some really good questions or be considering this, especially some of you. I heard so many people have said they're just going to walk away, and you shouldn't just walk away.
Because your credit will never recover if you just walk away.
Right.
It won't recover, and the bank can come back after you. So you're always going to be looking behind your shoulder to see, are they coming? Are they there? People might be already in a recovery mode, collecting new assets, and that's when the bank will come back, when they have something to take it away from you, and you just don't want that to happen. So another thing I wanted to point out that we do through the bankruptcy is we do mortgage modification.
Yeah, you mentioned that, and I didn't know you could do that through bankruptcy.
Yes, we can ask the court to refer us to mediation, and the bank has to come. And usually the banks respond more positively in the bankruptcy context because there is a judge overseeing the process. So they're more compliant than if you just try to do a mortgage mediation with a bank, and it just very difficult process. So
does the same thing go, excuse me for interrupting, but does the same thing go for mortgage companies? If you have your loan through a mortgage company rather than a bank?
Yes. Well, I mean, it's the big banks that do the mortgage mediations. And usually, I mean, if you get your loan through a mortgage company, ordinarily they sell it to the
The bank?
the bigger banks.
I see.
And it goes to this to the servicers and all that. So,
so all the same, they come to this mediation.
Through a court order, court order mediation, and that's where we try to figure out if we can help you lower your mortgage payments
And see if we can save you the house.
and save the
Through
house
the
in
bankruptcy.
the process. That is correct.
Are you
That is
pretty
correct.
successful at that? Of course you are.
Of course.
That's why you're here on the show. Otherwise,
course.
you wouldn't be here.
If I were not successful, I wouldn't be here telling people, call me.
That's right.
Come and see me.
And let me give you her number. We're going to give you her number several times during the show because it is down in Newport Richey. Her office is in Newport Richey, not here in Hernando County. So no matter where you are on the Nature Coast, she's ready to help you out. 727-849-3328. Debt Relief Law Offices of Tampa Bay, Newport Richey, actually at 5422, you'll love this address, Trouble Creek Road. What a perfect name for your address. 5422 Trouble Creek Road in Newport Richey, 727-849-3328. You can call there to set up an appointment. You have free consultation.
Absolutely. The initial consultation is free. I also want to point out that bankruptcy court is in Tampa. It's not here in Brooksville.
Yeah.
So that if you do file a bankruptcy, for relief in bankruptcy, it's not going to be down here.
Yeah. You're not going to be looking at local judges, local folks.
No, you're not. You're going to be looking at the federal judge, basically a bankruptcy judge.
A bankruptcy judge. There's never a jury or anything like that in those cases, right?
No
It's
jury.
always just a judge.
The judge, the trustee, opposing counsel. It's a smaller situation.
Setting, yeah.
Yeah, it's a smaller
How
setting.
does a judge end up doing that? Just for curiosity. How does he end up becoming a bankruptcy judge? Does he want to be a bankruptcy judge?
A
or
judge,
does he
of
get
course he wants to.
Or-
I don't presume to speak for the judges. I'm sure that they're judges because they want to be judges and because their colleagues think highly of them. So they start out as bankruptcy attorneys, and they're very good attorneys, and then someone nominates them to become a judge.
So
There is a committee that...
most of them have been bankruptcy attorneys in the South.
Yes. And they have a reputation of being very good attorneys.
Mm-hmm.
So the judges know the law, and they're great people.
Now, I don't know how many people caught our first program, but you can probably tell by her voice that she's not from Hernando County, or even from Florida.
You can tell?
Yeah, you can tell. A little bit of accent. Just a slight. Do you want to tell them about your history a little?
Okay, I was born in Israel. Before Israel was Israel, I was born, actually, the British mandate was still in Israel, so I was not born yesterday, let me put it that way. And I came to this country in 1965, went to school in Michigan. I went to the University of Michigan, got a degree in French, in linguistics, got married, then decided to come down here to Florida. Decided to go back to school, to Stetson, went back to law school.
Yeah, you told me Stetson. Very good law school.
Very good law school. So that's, in a nutshell, that's my life in a nutshell.
What about bankruptcy law caught your eye?
Well,
Is that a tough question?
I have a sister who's a bankruptcy attorney.
You told me that, yes.
So
And a daughter, right?
My daughter, too, is a bankruptcy attorney. That is correct. My daughter is an attorney in Miami in bankruptcy. I like helping people. I like being on the side of the little people.
Yeah.
Because we
like
all...
having
we're
you
all,
on our side, yeah.
Yes, we're all there in the same fight in life, trying to get our day-to-day to go smoothly. So if I can help someone keep their home, keep their car, if I can help them get rid of their debt so that they can move on with their lives.
Well,
so, for example, if you file a bankruptcy and you're thinking about buying a home, within 2 years of filing a bankruptcy, you can probably qualify for a mortgage for a new home.
that quick.
That quick.
See, you told us that last week and 2 weeks ago, and I thought everybody always thinks it's 7 years. I don't know where that 7 years thing came from, but that's what I've always heard. You know, for 7 years, you're down on the ground and you can't buy squat.
Well, obviously, it's not correct. I think people talk about 7 years because your credit report used to reflect what you did for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some financial events are reported for 7, others are reported for 10. But even if your bankruptcy is reported on your credit report, it does not mean that you're not credit worthy. So within that time that the bankruptcy is being reported on your credit report, you can repair your credit. Absolutely. How
late in the whole game, Ziona, can I call you? I mean, if I've gotten the foreclosure notice, have I waited too long?
Well, let's assume that you get your foreclosure notice.
Okay.
And they tell you your house is going to be sold Tuesday in 30 days.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So please don't wait until Monday to call me. I mean, I can still save your house, even if you come in on a Monday.
But if you come in on Friday,
if you come in on Friday,
we
right?
got a little better chance.
Right. If you come in when you got served for the lawsuit,
mm-hmm.
that would be better. But I can file your case an hour before the scheduled foreclosure, and they would have to stop the foreclosure.
See, that's great news.
Yes.
So people have gotten in the last week a foreclosure notice, and look, and don't sit there. Get on the phone and call Ziona Kopelovich. Kopelovich. I like to say it all together. And her law firm, the debt relief law offices of Tampa Bay, and this is why we call it the Debt Relief Radio Show. And your calls still welcome. 796-7272. We have plenty of time, so if you want to get a call in here and ask about your specific case or some general questions, please don't hesitate. She's a wonderful person to talk to, and I'm sure you're the same way in the office. So when we get to that point, though, what do? We have to bring you just all of our information, just everything.
Well, what I like to have is a list of your creditors. If you have the bills themselves,
mm-hmm.
bring them in, because I would ask you to give me that information, who you owe money to. If you have any assets, I need to know that information as well, because I have to make a determination whether you have assets that will not be protected in bankruptcy or will be protected in bankruptcy. And without the list of what you have, without that information, it's hard for me to tell you what you need to know. So I need to have a list of your creditors. I need to have a list of your assets, income, and a little budget. So basically that would give me enough information to evaluate your situation, see the kind of help I can give you, and educate you basically as to your way out. How on earth do you get out from this headache that keeps you up at night, wakes you up at 3 a.m, like, how am I going to pay the bill? How am I going to pay the mortgage? So hopefully we can give our clients some peace of mind.
I know 2 weeks ago when we did the first interview, you really surprised me when you talked about the asset list, because I didn't realize that, that's very important to all of this.
Okay,
because you might have assets that can go toward that could have positive or negative effects on everything.
Okay, let me repeat that for the benefit of those people who weren't here with us 2 weeks ago. If you have a homestead in Florida, your assets, your protected assets, are limited to $1,000 in personal property, $1,000 equity in a car. Your life insurance mostly is protected. There are various your homestead is protected. The equity in the homestead is protected, and there are various other protections for educational savings accounts, etc. If you don't have a homestead, your protection for your personal assets is increased. So from $1,000 protection to your personal property, the Florida legislature, in their wisdom, saw it fit to give us an additional $4,000.
If you don't have homestead.
If you don't have a homestead, that is correct.
Wonder why? I mean, do you think that's fair? Obviously. Or do you think it's fair?
It doesn't matter what I think, if it's fair. I mean, it's a philosophical argument.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
The legislature figured that people who don't own a homestead or don't have the benefits of a homestead are entitled to another kind of protection for assets. And then they give them an additional $4,000 per person. Now, it really becomes meaningful if you're a married couple, because now you get $8,000. That is already money.
Oh.
That is
so it's per person?
Per person. That is correct.
Oh.
So if you're a married couple and you have a homestead, you have a protection of $2,000. If you're married and you don't have a homestead, now you have a protection for $8,000 additional. Okay, so it would be 4 and 4 plus the other 1 and 1. Okay.
Yeah, I see.
$10,000.
So now, what about what if you have children? Does that not add anymore?
No, the children don't file for bankruptcy.
Well, it works on tax returns.
Well, no, not in bankruptcy court.
That doesn't work, huh?
That doesn't work for asset protection.
Would you say for the most part, I mean, these judges, these bankruptcy judges, so people won't be so afraid, aren't trying to make people homeless?
Heck no. They're there. Well, they have to be fair to the debtor and to the creditor, but they're not out there trying to make people homeless. On the contrary, I see them with a big heart, giving someone another chance and another chance. So it may not be the recommended method to not comply with what you need to comply, but no, judges are like people, right? Judges are people too.
People, yeah.
They are people. They have homes. They have cars. They have children. They know what life is all about. But they have a task, and they have to be fair, and they have to follow the law, and they do that.
I want to go back to assets again, because it's very important to me to understand about the assets. You know, I asked you last time about the guy with the $80,000 piano. That would be an asset you'd want listed. But I mean, in that person's house, I got dishes. I got pots and pans. What assets have to be on that list?
Well, in theory, all your assets.
Everything.
So we're not going to...
55 dishes?
No, we're not. We're just household items.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't spell the dishes, you know.
I mean, because the dishes are worthless, really, to anybody but me.
Right.
So that they would have zero value.
Right. So we basically put the furniture, you know, furnishings in general terms. Most people's household items, as much as you paid for them, are really not
very valuable.
Very valuable, right? Yeah. First of all, they're used, and everybody wants their own. You don't want your neighbor's dishes.
No,
right?
I don't want my neighbor's dishes.
the resale value, as nice as your dishes are, the resale value. I mean, you know what it is.
Exactly.
It's garage sale value, basically.
So really, $1,000, $2,000, $8,000 goes a long way.
Goes a very long way to cover.
And
that is correct.
You need to know that, people, if you're thinking about this.
Right. Usually what we run into are cars with equity sometimes, or a musical instrument that may be valuable.
Mm-hmm. That kind of thing. Something that's truly valuable.
Land that...
How about jewelry?
Some people have some serious jewelry.
Yeah, they do.
Most people
Not me,
don't.
But some people do.
Some people do. Most people have, you know, just a chain, a ring, a bracelet.
I'm not a jewelry guy. You know, we're not jewelry people at my house.
Well, you're saving a lot of money.
Yeah, we save a lot of money.
Because you pay a lot of money for jewelry and then you can't sell it.
Yeah. But I have a very valuable teddy bear that I have to keep, you know, I guess I'd have to write it down because it is valuable.
The teddy bear?
Yeah. Very valuable. You know, there are valuable teddy bears.
Well, if they have resale value.
This one does. Yeah, that's what it does.
If there is a market for it.
There is.
Then
and to be honest, I need to tell you, because if I hid that asset, I could get in a lot of trouble, right?
If you do,
If you hide assets?
if you hide, oh my goodness, yeah.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. You cannot hide assets. You may regret it. You will regret it. I mean, filing bankruptcy is done in federal court. It's under federal law. And if you violate federal law,
You're
you're not
trouble.
going to be happy.
No.
That is right.
They don't treat you good.
No, they don't. So definitely not recommended.
Ziona Kopelovich is with the law firm, or actually is the law firm, of Debt Relief Law Offices of Tampa Bay. I mean, there are other people there, but it's her law firm. And it's really neat. Your daughter's into this, and you didn't mention your sister last week, so you have a sister into this.
I have a sister in
You guys are just like the law team over here.
Well, just about.
That's pretty neat. And her daughter, by the way, has a radio show in Miami, right?
In Miami, yeah, and that you actually can hear her in Tampa as well.
Can you?
Yeah, they run it through another station in Tampa.
That's pretty neat.
Yes,
and
so
she's doing the same thing you're doing, helping bankruptcy folks?
She does, yeah. My daughter does practice bankruptcy law.
So that's pretty good. So if you got a bankruptcy situation approaching, or if you're right in the middle of one or thinking about it, I really want you to think about Ziona, because she's a wonderful lady, and you'll enjoy talking to her. She's easy to talk to, obviously very well read in this topic. How long have you been doing this now?
20 plus years.
Yeah, you ought to know your stuff then. I would think by now.
Absolutely.
And again, it's the Debt Relief Law Offices of Tampa Bay. They're located at 5422 Trouble Creek Road in Newport Richey. Their phone number is 727-849-3328. And they will talk to, what was her name? You were so
Shannon.
proud of Shannon, yeah.
Shannon will talk to you. Also, let me give our website.
Please do. And I'm going to write it down. I should have it here. In fact, I do. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, bankruptcytampabay.com.
Oh, I don't have that one. Bankruptcytampabay.com.
.com.
I
Yes.
have your personal one, I guess, is what I have.
Well, I hope you're not going to give it on the air.
No, we won't give that one out. Bankruptcytampabay.com, or call 727-849-3328. She'll set up an appointment. You'll have a free consultation where you can sit down and get this thing discussed out, and you'll tell them what to bring and get them set on a road to repairing all this damage.
Road to recovery, right? If your financial life has fallen apart, please come to me. I'll be more than happy to help you put your life back together again.
We hope in 2 weeks when she comes back, you'll call with your questions and inquiries, because I know a lot of you have them. And I forgot Ziona was coming today. I should have promoted on the earlier show, because she's very good on this subject that we're talking about. But Ziona, we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And I
We'll
look
see you in
forward to it. 2 weeks for another of our debt relief radio shows with the Debt Relief Law Offices of Tampa Bay and Ziona Kopelovich.